So what are we gonna do about it? That's the question. Like how? What? So pretty much now that everybody's in that position where they don't even know when they're gonna get out, and then now they're staying in the house, but now they're like kind of leaning a little on we'll reopen and all that and stuff. Yeah. It's just like, all right, what are we gonna do to reform prison? Because I feel like this is a little prehistoric, and you might as well all right. In my head, I know people. Oh boy, prehistoric. In my head, this is my little segue into the prison system in general. But it's just interesting the psychological effects that you have on a person, putting them in there, taking their whole rights away, and then expecting them to be that same person coming out. Now I understand some people gotta be put away, but it's just like I feel like we do that and we lock away the key and throw it away.
The United States is lazy. United States is lazy.
There's no reform.
That's the issue. They don't want to help the people. Like, there's probably a good 70% of those people that are in there don't need to be there.
Or they learned their lesson in fucking 2 months.
People
2
in
months.
There,
oh man, you know what? I shouldn't have stole that. My bad. That was dumb. Can I go home now?
But they don't.
Can't leave.
They don't want to teach them. They don't want to help them. They don't want to put them in programs like you said. Your man's was in. Like, they don't want to put them in those. If we instead created jails and we created like coaching systems and different type of rehabilitation centers, then we would be good because then we'd be changing people.
Prison.
But we're too lazy. So we're just saying, oh, you know what? You stole something because you wanted to feed your family. They're locking you up. You know, it's 70% of those people are in there for just stupid reasons or legit reasons. But it's like, okay, instead of just fucking whipping them, why don't you teach them or why don't you help them grow? Come on. You know what I'm saying? So
there's other prisons that do a way better job in terms of reform. Like they out here doing stuff. Like it's like a different. Like it's like a prison cell with no ceiling essentially. And everybody it's a rehab, and then it's funny because there was a prison in like another country. I forgot. I don't know if it was Ireland or something. He went to prison. The guard's like, blah blah. You learned your lesson. He's like, yeah. I'm sorry, my bad. Leaves.
Yeah, no, that's a thing.
But that's a
real.
thing.
That's real.
Like, so you fucked up. You're gonna be in prison for 24 hours and then you out, or 48 hours. And god damn it, this is an inconvenience.
That's not the only thing. If you want to get even really with it, hospitals do the same thing. Medicine, pharmacy, like they could be really giving, like you said earlier, the real treatment for you because they know how to reverse diabetes, they know how to all that type of shit, right? But they don't do that because it's
not profitable.
It's more convenient to let people die, and you're letting people die by sitting in jail, right? They're dead. If they're there for 30 years, they're dead. Like,
so let's just hit.
Let's just hit it. Their life is done. If they're 50 years old or 40 years old and you're there for life, you're dead.
Right.
The person is done. Like, it's going to sound fucked up, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the hospital systems. They don't really care because at the end of the day, it's much easier to just end up letting someone rot. And the world is afraid to have too many people on Earth because they're kind of like, I think a lot of them are very selfish. They want like more land for themselves. They want more opportunities for themselves. They say, you know what? It's much easier just to kill people off so we can have new birth and new. But it's like people don't understand. Like I've always said, like a lot of times I get very sensitive about like immigration topics and shit.
Right.
I'm like, yo, we got the room. We could print money. We got all these middle America.
We have room.
So much
we got
room.
Kansas, Missouri,
Midwest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The whole Midwest. Where we could put people
Midwest.
No, the whole Midwest.
Where there's just farms. It's not even farms. Not even farms. It's just land.
No, there's more cattle than humans there.
So why can't we make like a Kansas the New Jersey? We can, but we're like, no, that's like what do you know?
So I think, even with hospitals, jails, and even school, I think it's shown because we live in a capitalistic world and everything. Profit, money.
Yeah, money.
And like when my friend told me that, because I'm like looking at my education, I'm like, what did I really learn after 4 years? And I like not just myself, but I would ask a lot of people that I'm like, what did we really learn? It's like
you learn how to work with somebody.
Yeah, like no, seriously though, and like it's like with the jail, it's like they're not there to hurt, like fix you or heal you. It's like like you're a battery or you're a profit, and like. Quota, like at the end of the month with cops, like they got to meet their quotas. Like,
of course.
What'd you learn in detention?
Literally,
is that not a parallel to prison?
What did you learn? What did you learn? And it's like not like that. So you have to like. It starts with the system. It's like our system's not built for us to even win or like grow. So like knowing that, it's just like, all right, well, we gotta not go against the system, but like do things self-sustainable.
You have to
so
be
we
that
can learn.
change. You have to be the change that you want to see, and you have to be able to stand up for things and also be able to spread these messages
Right.
to help other. Because sometimes people just aren't thinking about it. It's not saying that they're a bad person because they never
just
thought
don't
about
know.
it. Never said it. They're just not aware because we all have a lot of shit going on in our lives.
Right.
You know, but the fact of it really is too. Like sometimes just to be so simple with it is just that we're busy. Like we got shit we're going on. So at the end of the day, it's like we don't stand up to say, hey, you know what? I think we should reevaluate laws every 5 years.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Like we just go through the motions. So sometimes I feel like people sometimes get very, very sensitive about shit. And it's like, okay, I get it.
But shit doesn't get done though.
Yeah, of course, because shit doesn't. But it's like, that's why we need to create that movement.
We're too busy with social media.
Yeah, we're too busy on the wrong thing. So it's like, if everyone came together and really said, like the way they came together to shut down the world just now, we can come together to rebuild the world.
I wish they kept that same energy with cancer. I
What up
could
with
keep on
AIDS?
going. AIDS.
Yeah,
I could keep going.
Ebola,
With the adoption, not the adoption, the orphan agency, just in
everything.
general.
There's so many things, but it's
so
like
many things.
you have to really be able to push because it's just like it's the same shit. Like you go on your street, right? You know that street that always has mad potholes, and it's like until really people speak the fuck up and start saying like, yo, calling the town and saying, yo, fix this shit, fix this shit, fix this shit. Eventually, they'll fix the shit. You know what I'm saying? Without being like, you know, obviously you don't want to be violent, disrespectful, but just calling and saying something about it.
Persistency.
Yeah, we need to kind of do the same thing about a lot of these laws and stuff like that. Just because, bro, at the end of the day, most of these laws are they were written down years ago when things were different. You know what I'm saying? Things were just different. So you can't knock it because it was so long ago. Right. We weren't there. You couldn't change it. You know, you can't go back in the past, right? So these laws that were made in like the 20s and 30s or whatever, they were made for that time. But every 5-10 years were different. Like, 10 years ago, where we were 2020, 2010 was completely different, from the year we're in today. Even just look at like weed laws and things like that.
68.
Yeah, like everything.
Times are different.
So different. So laws are still like everything. Everything is just different. The law should always be reevaluated, but no one does that because now I feel like we need our generation and even a younger generation.
So that's what I'm saying with social media and this platform. It's so beneficial because the internet it's a voice of itself. Like you can literally put anything out there.
Not anything.
Not anything.
The reason why I'm saying that is because we want the positive message, but yet the platforms that we post on have a different agenda.
Yeah.
Saying when the moment it's Instagram, I was about to delete Instagram. The moment the Sandra Bland hashtag got deleted, and that's when I knew. They made a decision.
Yeah, monetized.
They made a decision. They said, no, we're not doing this no more. And Facebook also deleted
YouTube
certain
too.
people.
YouTube
as well.
Too.
So as much as we want to make that change, we just got to all voice it because you want to delete everybody else? Delete us all.
Right.
If we all do it as a collective, then we're going to get somewhere. But if we do it like sporadically, then we just giving them chances to cut us off. So it took Kim Kardashian the factor to do a prison reform just to get that young woman out of prison for doing something she didn't do. Well, it was justified. How is that not a thing? So you killed your captive. You're going to prison because you killed somebody. Did we not just hear what she just did to leave? You killed your captive and now you're going to prison for just the factor of killing. A law's a law. You can't kill people. Self-defense is only proven in court, and the jury saw you and they said, nah, you did it, and we don't sympathize with you. That's why I always tell people, if you want to talk about law, watch the movie A Time to Kill. I don't know if y'all ever seen that movie, but it was Samuel Jackson and Matthew McConaughey, and the whole concept was someone had raped his daughter. It was 2 guys. Then when he found out who it was, Samuel Jackson killed them in court. And then the police came to his house, and he willingly went with the cops, and he hired Matthew McConaughey to be his lawyer.
Wow.
Why did he hire Matthew McConaughey? Because he was a white lawyer that would figure out a way to get his client off. And then it took him a while because of, why did you pick me? What am I going to say? Because they would sympathize with you. So you have to figure out a way how you're going to translate that to them. And what he said was, close your eyes. And I want you to imagine this girl, this girl being your daughter, your niece, your this. And I want you to explain to me, would you have done the same thing? boom.
That's what I said. You gotta put yourself in.
In their shoes. And it took them to close their eyes to imagine if that was them, they would have definitely done it. And then that was it. And that's why I never. It took me years to see that movie. A Time to Kill. It took me years to watch that movie. I was like, I hear this movie all the time.
Well, he killed them in the courtroom.
Yeah. So and this is early in the movie. So the moment he found out who they were, and he was a worker, man. He wasn't like a criminal or anything like that. Got his gun. I think this was in Louisiana. It was like a southern place. He went there, killed the 2 guys, cold blood, ran out the courthouse, went home. Cops knew it was him. They came to him, and I believe the chief of police, he was black. He knew who he was. They just went to the house. He went willingly. They called, and he was in court. So pretty much they just had to wait for the case. But there was like a whole uproar. There was a whole conspiracy thing like that because they weren't gonna let, like, where they were at. I think it was Louisiana or wherever it was. The chances of him getting off that case was 1%.
Right.
There was no way he was gonna get off that. So that was like a big case for him, and if you won it, it was good. But he wasn't thinking about that. He was thinking about that, like what happened.
Like it has to be.
Yeah.
No problem. Movies like that.
It's too deep.
That's fun. We gotta watch that. I'm gonna watch that.
No, it's definitely it's a deep movie. So you gotta. I think a lot of people, because we're in quarantine, everybody closed their eyes for that moment. That's why it came full circle. Like everybody got comfortable. Now we're not comfortable no more. Now it's time to open your eyes and really see. Would you feel comfortable being in prison for 20 years?
Lord.
You can't do it for 2 weeks.
It's real.
It's a process.
It's a psychological thing that we got to think about, and I feel like that's the therapy. Like we need more therapy in places like schools, but not just for the students, for the teachers.
Yeah, for everybody.
For everybody.
Right.
Workplaces should have something mandatory, especially if you're a Fortune 500 country.
You could afford it.
You need to have it be a outlet for these people so they don't fucking kill themselves at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real shit.
I think what you said about, like, you close your eyes. Everyone's eyes are closed right now from the movie.
Yeah.
Is that based on a true story?
I think it's loosely based on a true story.
Loosely, okay.
It's loosely based, but honestly, the way it was written, because I know the guy who wrote it, his name is John Grisham. He's like a famous writer. He did a lot of books. You know John Grisham? Yeah, so he wrote that, and I think that was his first book that became a movie.
Okay.
So that was like a major thing, but I'm sure there's many cases where that fucking happened, but not as extreme where they maybe shot in the courtroom and left, but maybe they exacted justice and became a vigilante, and then you're like, all right, well,
Yeah, they improvise a little bit.
Improvise and whatnot.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? So about